know it's the deal.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the On Sunday podcast with me, Chris.
What the hell's happened here? Why is this on my head? What have you done?
Oh, remember the other day when we
Yeah.
were doing that thing?
Hang on, I'm going to have to move this.
Sorry guys, stand by. For audio listeners, Chris tried to fix the light that is falling apart, and I fear that my wife is going to move it and it's going to really fall apart.
I'm going to try and not make it
I'm gonna
fall
have
apart,
to-
but it's like on my head.
Gonna have to mend it. Honey, you look great today. Hi, welcome back to the On Sunday podcast with me, Chris. And my actually smoking hot wife.
I'm literally on fire hot because I burnt my face with a curling iron.
Yeah, burnt our face
Curling
with
tongue.
curling tongs. Wife, Rebecca.
Hi.
Hi guys, I hope you had an amazing Black Friday weekend. We're time travelling here, so we're actually doing this in advance of, so I don't know if it all fell apart and became unstuck.
The hope is that when you are listening to this, we are moving house. We are
They don't
in
care
the
anymore.
process.
People don't care.
I don't think they do. It's been going on for so goddamn long.
I don't care. Like I said to you this morning, I just want to be there. So that's where we're at.
I don't care, but I want to be there. That doesn't even make sense.
As in, I don't want to think about it anymore.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Alrighty then.
That is my fear.
So today we are going to talk about what we're talking about again.
If I had to start again.
Oh yeah, if you were starting out again and you are becoming a brand new nail tech in 2026, this is the way we go about it. Now bear in mind that we have no clue what goes on in salons anymore because we have lost touch. We are well out of the game.
But all of the basic ideas are the same. You got to set yourself up. You've got to find your customers. You got to get going.
And I know what you guys are thinking. I'm already set up. I've got my customers. I've got to get going.
But maybe just listen to this. You'll have a little idea of something. You'll think, oh, I'm not doing that.
Yes, because I want to talk about expansion,
Oh,
growth, other things.
okay.
But I'm just going to tell you one thing, guys, before we get into today's pod. Don't become a nail tech. Get yourself a couple of vending machines and you will live like a king.
Well, Chris, how much money have you made from this vending machine in the last 5 months?
Can't physically tell you because the accountants might listen.
Go on then, tell me.
I can't.
You need to tell
I
us.
can't physically tell you. The accountants might listen to the podcast.
Okay, well,
I'm going to say it's nearly £1,000.
no, it's not.
It actually really probably is.
No, it's not.
It's probably close to
How many months is that?
3 months.
No, it's not been 3 months. It's been more than that.
4 months.
Okay, but how much money have you spent putting into it?
5,000.
And how much money does it cost to run?
Oh, well, I don't know.
Do you know what? I'm kind of gutted because during the summertime, it was like you'd go in there and it was like really, really hot in that room.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is going to be great in the winter. It can't overpower the cold.
The funny thing is, I was filling it up today. This is why we're talking about vending machines. That's what I'd like to do.
Did you get anything new for the vending machine or you just get the same things over and over?
Peanut M&Ms. I've got a different tactic, right? So before, I'll be honest with you guys, before we were going for like big bags of potato chips, crisps, Walkers crisps and stuff like that. And they are monstrous and they were taking up loads of space.
And they were getting stuck in the... In fact, every single time somebody uses a vending machine, without fail, they come through the office and they go, where's the keys for the vending machine? Because every single time
Yeah.
it doesn't vend properly. So that's good news.
And what I've thought to myself is, why do we go for the big bags? Why not just go for the small bags and charge the same price as the big bags? The staff won't know the difference. They don't listen to the pod anyway. Also, for instance, here's the thing, right? So we have what we call Fake a Bull. So it's like Red Bull, sugar-free, you get it from the cash and carry. It costs 50p per can. Right? It doesn't cost us, but that's what the staff pay, right? Then there's Red Bull, which is $1.65 a can. Today I bought the 12-ounce cans of Red Bull. You know the bigger ones?
Oh, I thought they were the wee ones.
8 ounce for the small ones. 12 ounce for the bigger ones. 210. And I've put them all right next to each other. The funny thing is, we make the exact same amount of money on all of them, so it doesn't make a difference to us.
Really?
But what you're gonna, I think it's a good experiment because I would like to see what people go for. Did they go for what looks like a huge?
Have you changed the prices of things
Of course I
so
did.
that it's not like 50p for a can anymore?
I did. I
That
know what
it's
I'm
costing
doing
us 55p?
Yeah, I know what I'm doing now.
Okay, good.
It'd just be interesting to see if people go for the 50 pence one, the 165, which are probably identical in pretty much every way.
But again, you could be making way more money if you go and tell everybody else in the park about this vending machine.
I just don't want to speak to anybody. That's the
You
thing.
don't need to speak to them.
Oh.
Except for when the stuff gets stuck in the vending machine, they need the keys.
Exactly.
But it's fine.
I'm learning. It's a learning curve.
I think you need to go over to the carpet place and the dog crematorium and tell them.
Yeah. Okay. I'll do that, honey. Got to get that money.
Steph loves that.
Steph loves what?
Steph loves snacks.
Okay. Hopefully she's not listening. Calling her fat.
No,
Jesus
I'm not.
Christ.
No. But I'm just saying, anytime there's a snack opportunity, Steph will be involved.
Oh, because of the coffee cart that came around. We should actually do that every single Monday. Guys, if I sound sniffly, right, I have a cold, but I've woken up this morning allergic to something. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to rack my brains to what I ate last night. I feel like I've got hay fever, but it's like pouring rain outside. Probably can't be that. I mean, I had mowed my lawn recently, but still, I feel like all bunged up.
Were you not messing around in the garden yesterday?
I've messed around in the garden every day, blowing my leaves off my deck.
Yeah.
Honey, what you been up to this week?
Well, yesterday when we went home, I packed up a lot more of the house. It took a lot longer than I anticipated. It's the kitchen. Like if you guys are in your house right now and look around and really think about it, it's the kitchen that has the most stuff because it's got cupboards that are attached to the house. It's not like a chest of drawers that you could just take full. Well, you're obviously not going to do that because it's going to be too heavy. But you know what I mean? Like you're taking that with you. You're not taking the kitchen cabinets, so they all need empty.
If you're really
cleaned.
smart, what you would do is you would take the drawers out of your chest of drawers, put the chest into the moving vehicle, and then put the drawers back in it.
Yes, for sure.
Right. Whereas you can't do that with kitchen cupboards because the kitchen's got to stay.
It does. So the kitchen is actually the hardest part, but we are 90% done in the kitchen, I would say.
Let me tell you a story, guys. We have one of those slide-out pantry things in our kitchen. We got like a Wren-fitted kitchen, and it's actually quite good. I really
Years
like
ago,
it.
and it was the most money we'd ever spent on anything for the house.
I think it's really good value, like in hindsight. It felt like a lot of the time. It was like 4,000 or 5,000 or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And it felt like so much money at the time.
It really did, but
great. In hindsight, it's great. And I think it definitely helped to sell the house. So this pantry is like one of those slide-out things. And we've basically put everything that we can live on in there. So like our vitamins. Vitamins.
The dog's medication.
Hot sauces.
Just like
the essentials.
all the essentials, even all the stuff the dishwasher is in there.
So this morning, I just have like a routine when I get up.
I know, same.
I get up, I go downstairs, I lift the blinds up at the patio doors. Dacky goes wild and wants out for a wee. I let him out into the pouring rain. Bailey looks at the rain and goes, "No thank you, I'll pee on the carpet." I just thought of Oliver Twist. That's what he looks like. Oh, please, sir, can I have some more chicken? And I went to go get myself a glass to have a nice coffee, and there was no glasses. And then I went to get my vitamins before leaving. There was no vitamins. And I keep going back to the one thing. And it makes me think to myself, right, so we're moving to a slightly bigger house, and it has a slightly bigger kitchen with slightly more cupboards and slightly more like countertop space. And I keep thinking to myself, maybe we could just live out of one cupboard. Maybe it's possible. Maybe it's possible.
It's possible definitely for a short period of time, but if you want to, like we've packed away all of our spices and condiments and all things you would use to actually cook a decent dish. We're thinking, right, we're only going to be in our house now for hopefully 2 more weeks.
2 more weeks, and during that time, Black Friday weekend as well.
So we're not going to be at the house very often. We're probably going to be eating crap. So do we need all of these things?
Turmeric. Do you need turmeric in
no,
the next 2
or
weeks?
paprika,
and I kept saying
or
to
white
Rebecca,
wine vinegar.
I kept saying to Rebecca, if we don't need it until the end of the year, now bear in mind we're like 5-ish, 6 weeks out to the end of the year, then either bin it or box it, you know? And Rebecca kept saying, do you need extra hot curry powder? And I'm like, Rebecca, when was the last time I used it? It's probably out of date. Jesus Christ, just bin it.
We did throw away quite a few things as well.
Yeah.
So anyway, that I would say the kitchen is, I'm going to say 85% done.
Excellent.
Maybe 90.
You said 90 earlier.
Maybe 90.
Yeah.
Because I cleaned out all the cupboards as well.
I
So
think
that's the other thing, it's the cleaning of everything.
Yeah. I think a lot of people forget to do that. I remember helping somebody to move a couple of years ago, and I got there and I started like shifting boxes because I had a van. That's why I offered to help. And I started shifting boxes out, and I was looking at the mess that was left behind. You know, like when you lift a sofa up and there's just like dust bunnies and stuff like that underneath it, and they weren't for cleaning. And she had contacted the person who's moving into the house. And she said, "Oh, don't worry, I'm knees deep in cleaning the oven for the next people." And you could see, and she was thinking to herself, "Wait, I need to clean this house?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you do." And here in the UK, I don't know if you guys I was speaking to our American friends recently, and this whole thing of moving on the same day so that you don't have 2 mortgages,
God, it's so stupid.
It's the stupidest thing in the world.
So stupid.
So everybody who's moving house has got to move on the same day.
So we've got
4 families under us.
Yes.
4 families underneath us. Did we all leave at like 11 a.m. and arrive at 12 p.m. and that's it? You know?
It's kind of weird, isn't it?
It's so weird.
It's a really stupid, archaic system.
And do you know what
Makes
I
no
started
sense.
doing in the pod? I know you count in the pod quite a lot. I keep folding my arms. I don't know why. I was editing a video the other day and I kept
Because it's
thinking,
cold.
I kept thinking to myself, don't fold your arms
You know
because
what we
it's
need
very
to do?
closed.
Blankets. Although,
Blankets.
this could be The last podcast?
Absolutely not. I think we'll do January 1st onwards. We'll do it from the house.
Nah.
Okay, I was saying this to Rebecca last night, so we're running over the intro, guys, but I just need you guys to comment. I said to Rebecca, like, we could do a podcast of us building out the podcast studio.
That's not listenable.
It's not listenable.
Okay.
So it forces them to go watch YouTube.
But nobody cares.
Wow.
That's what Chris says to me all the time. He's probably said it to me 3 times a day. Nobody cares.
Oh, dudes. Okay. So if you want
I'm saying it, nobody cares. We'll just have a little rudimentary setup. Nobody cares what it looks like.
I would like for you guys to know what you guys want to see in the next podcast studio. I'm thinking a Chesterfield sofa that is made out of patchwork quilts.
Disgusting.
So if you
But
want
you said that we're not to sit on sofas.
For you. I have to sit at a desk.
Wait a minute, right? Okay, hang on a minute. This is a weird setup.
Yeah.
So I'm sat on a sofa just over the other side of the
With your
room.
feet up, stuff like that.
Okay, and you are at a desk.
Yes.
This is a very odd setup.
Honey, that's the way
Very
life works.
odd.
That's the way life works.
I've never seen a podcast with this setup.
I literally sit my life like working away here, and you just sit back on the sofa.
I've never seen a podcast with this setup.
For you guys who don't, do you have ice on you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Rebecca's got ice on her chin, man. She's so cool. So
It really hurts.
Very
And
pretty.
it was 1 second. It touched my skin for off and on and off.
All right, so fast forward in a couple of weeks, and we enter 2026.
Crazy times.
The ball is dropping, the bells are ringing, and you are
God, I
there.
hate New Year.
You are there with Uncle Frankie, and he is steaming, asking for a packet of cigarettes, and he's not smoked in 25 years. And you think to yourself, this year is going to be different. I am going to go to the gym tomorrow. I'm going to eat healthy and meal prep. I am going to cut down on caffeinated drinks from Chris's vending machine, and instead I'm going to get myself some chai lattes that I made at home for 20 cents. That's the way your brain is thinking, but also you're thinking to yourself, I bought some courses in the Black Friday sale at Nail Order, so I'm going to be doing
Well,
that.
no, you're thinking I need a change of career.
Yeah, I need a change of career. I'm bleeding, guys. Jesus Christ. So, we're falling apart.
I need a change of career, but you were sensible and you already knew that you needed a change of career, which is why I bought some courses from Nail Order in the Black Friday sale. So, you think you want to be a nail tech? What's the first step?
Well, first of all, you get yourself some acrylic and some monomer, and you start practicing on all your friends.
That's a possibility, yes.
All right, I would probably.
Okay, first up, would you go to college?
Would I go to college personally? Yeah, I'd love college. Think about it. All those free rolls and sausage you can get. No,
Free?
Cheap. 35p for a roll and sausage.
Really?
That's what it was at school when I was
Okay, you were in school many, many decades ago.
Shut up with the decades. Come on.
Like
Even
30 years ago.
Oh, women, Jesus. It's true, actually.
I left school in 2005.
Excellent.
Flipping heck, that was 20 years ago.
Yeah. Decades ago, honey. Decades.
Oh my God. Yeah, but only just decades. But anyway, carry on.
Whatever. Would I go to college? No. Would I do some day courses? Yes. Would I sit down and start with a business plan? Knowing me, who the heck? Because I hate business plans. But I just want to cast your mind back to when we started Piranha Pedi, when we did the fish pedicures. What was our business plan, honey?
We had a business plan.
We did.
And we presented it to my father.
To get some funding.
What did we want? £1,500?
Something like that. It was ridiculous. For deposits on the tanks. We had some money saved away for ourselves, and we started the business. Now, I have been talking about business plans with someone recently for starting a new business, and I know Rebecca doesn't want to talk about that just now because she's very angry with me. I'm leaving Nail Order, guys. That's the news. I'm not. Like Rebecca would let me do that. Would I start with a business plan? What I would probably do is I would ask around some nail techs, either your nail tech or just random nail techs, how things are. What's the lay
I
of the
disagree.
land?
I disagree.
Why?
Because if you...
Or, moreover, I would get into like forums. Forums is an easy way to do it.
I
Because you
think-
can put, I'm based in Glasgow, Scotland.
I think you're just jumping way ahead, right? Let's just reverse back and slow down a little bit. Here is what... See if you decide you want to become a nail tech. You've got to take the first step and you've got to, I don't know, become a nail tech. You maybe don't know if you want to be self-employed or employed or whatever it is until you have done that. So why don't you take the very first step and get the courses under your belt and get the practice under your belt? That's what I would do.
But what if you ask in these forums and everyone's like, it's dry out here, like there is no
Yeah,
business.
but people are going to say that because it's competition and they don't want to dilute the market even more.
Okay, so I called up a place in
Yes,
Liverpool.
you did. Aquashaco.
No, it was Liverpool. Somewhere in Liverpool. Wasn't it Aquashaco?
Are you sure it wasn't Aquashaco?
Promise. And I said to the girl, I said, you can probably hear by my accent, I'm not local to where you are. My wife, or my girlfriend, my partner, and I are thinking of starting a business like this. Now, we're based a couple of 100 miles away. I just want to know if you guys are busy and it's a viable business. And she said, well, I can fit you in for a fish pedicure if you want to try it, but it's going to be 2 weeks on Saturday. And I'm like, wait, what? And she was like, yeah, we're fully booked until then. And at that point in time, I was like, let's do it. Now, that is a very rudimental business plan. But realistically, if there is need and want for it, then I would say go for it.
But there's also no reason to that you can't get a job employed. You don't have to do it self-employed.
That's very true.
You can go and work for a salon. And arguably, it might be a great idea when you first become a nail technician.
I do think that is a great idea. But I would look at job boards as well to see if people are actually hiring.
In fact, I would say, if you have never worked in the nail and beauty industry before, and you are wanting to become a nail technician, right? You hate what you're doing right now. I would say doing at least 6 months in a salon is going to equip you with not only more practical nail skills, but just seeing how the business runs and how to do those types of things. I would say it's probably invaluable. If you're not going to go to college, you're going to do day courses, I would do that.
Okay.
And it might be a bitter pill to swallow if the goal ultimately is to be self-employed. But I think in the long term, it's going to give you skills in a lot shorter period of time, rather than you having to learn the hard way. Do you know what I mean? Like, imagine if somebody came into us when we had the salon. They would get to see the way things run, what booking systems we use, how we juggle the diary, stock ordering, what products we're using, trying out different products, timings, maybe learning some new skills off the other staff, equipment, all sorts of things.
I think also just salon etiquette, which is something you don't really get. Maybe at college you do get it a little bit, where they put
you get it at college, and that is something that you don't get on day courses. Yeah. How to present yourself, how to deal with clients. A lot of client consultation, I think, is probably quite lacking in day courses and online courses.
Yeah, definitely. Right, so let's rewind back. You've decided that it is for you. There are job opportunities out there, and there is a need and want for nail techs in your area.
Yeah.
I think because you bought yourself an acrylic course, a hard gel course, a builder's course, a gel polish course, and nail anatomy course from Nail Order.
Well, you've not got an acrylic course because, ours isn't up and running yet, but yeah, sure.
Whatever. And you start to do these courses. Would you go down the in-person route, or would you go the online route? Or would you do a hybrid mix of both?
As a complete beginner, personally, because of the way that I learn, I would do my first course, my beginner course, in person. Complete beginner course, in person.
So what's normally the beginner course?
Gel polish.
Yeah, the basics.
The thing is with in-person courses, you are just naturally going to gain more information than you are from an online course. Because what you're getting extra, which is why it's a little bit more money, you are getting all of those nuggets of information from the educator who has years of experience in doing that treatment. And they'll be like, oh, I've come across this and this is how I did it. When you're writing an online course, whilst you're trying to get everything down, it's kind of impossible to get it all there. And what will happen during a practical course, an in-person course, is you'll come across little things that are difficult to do, like just practically. And that's how you'll pick up those tips and tricks.
I think when it comes to in-person courses, you have the opportunity to ask questions, whereas an online course, you're presented with the information.
Yes.
You cannot realistically ask questions during the course. I mean, when a trainer comes back to you with feedback, you can always, ask questions there. But with an online course, an in-person course, that's when you have the opportunity, not only for you, but other members of the people who are on the team, who are learning as well. They have the opportunity to ask questions that you may never have thought of, but now you have the answer to.
Exactly. That's it. Other learners. I think it depends what type of learner you are. If you are somebody who likes to do your own research, go away and watch your videos and stuff yourself, then online is great for you. If that is not you and you are not good or cannot be bothered doing independent research, 1,000,000% do an in-person course. If you need or want a lot of troubleshooting skills that, again, you're not going to gather yourself, then in person.
Yeah. I know personally that I struggle with in-person courses.
Same.
Because quite often I think I know better.
Same.
Or I also have a lot of pushback as to why things are being taught in the way they are, in the nicest way.
Yeah, same. I'll be like, but why? And they'll be like, well,
because it is.
but why? Yeah, exactly.
I remember I did do you remember we were going to open a bar, and I went and did my personal license thing, just like a day thing, basically just to tell you like how to like run a bar, not run a bar, but like the do's and don'ts of being able to sell alcohol.
It seems pretty self-explanatory. Don't sell to underage people or drunk people. Boom, done.
Yeah, pretty much that's it. But there's tons more intricacies to it. And one of the things we're talking about was drinks promotions. And you're not allowed to do them here in Scotland.
Yep.
And I was like, but for why? Because surely that encourages people to come in, like happy hour and stuff like that. And I'm like, no, can't do it.
Yeah, but because it's bad for people's health.
Yeah, but so is just drinking and full stop. So just shut the bars. Yeah,
but it's about not promoting it.
Okay.
It's like, I guess, cigarettes. You're not going to take them, people aren't going to take them off sale because the government makes a lot of money on tax revenue from them, but they can't promote them.
Yeah. And I basically said, what you find is a lot of bars in the UK, especially Scotland, are closing because basically what you have is you have old man pubs. They sell generally like quite cheap alcohol. You know, they'll sell like a pint for a couple of pounds, and it's like the rank rotten stuff. But the wee old men, they'll just go in there and drink it and stuff like that. And I was like, why can't we have like nice, alcohol? And she was just like, no. And I was like, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but just the way it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got to establish the way that you want to learn. But I definitely believe that very first course when you are a complete beginner should probably be done in person. After that, if you think you're quite good at learning yourself, teaching yourself things, doing your own research, do online courses. That's absolutely fine. But make sure you do supplement them. It's not just doing that course and that's it. That's all of the information you have. It's your responsibility to equip yourself as best you can. So go and watch. That's how I got really good at doing eyebrows, was watching other people, watching videos. Even when I was just in the practicing stages, it was watching other people on the practice skin doing their patterns and things like that and their hair strokes. That is how I got really, really good. Literally just watching other people, picking up tips and tricks.
I think YouTube is unbelievable for being able to teach you things. When I started learning to ride a motorbike, I did a lot of research on YouTube back then, and even learning to fly. I still watch those people on YouTube. And for instance, if you're learning to drive a car or learning to fly a plane, there's so much information that is bombarded at you within that hour lesson. You can't take it all in. But if you go back and maybe watch somebody else on a lesson, and they're like, oh, right, that's what they told me and that's what that means, whereas I thought it meant something else.
We're so lucky now. Like, all the information is there. You don't have to work it out for yourself over years and years and years or go to all of these in-person courses. It's there for you online to find yourself and upskill much, much faster.
Okay. So say, for instance, you come to your first course and it's a gel polish course and you have a bit of a nail anatomy and everything else. What's the next steps after that?
Build a gel.
Really?
Build the gel, yeah.
Okay.
It's funny, Laura asked me a question the other day and she said, how long would you recommend the student waits after doing their first nail course to do e-file? It's such a hard question to answer because a lot of people will say, and there is an argument in it, that you should do your time and wait a few months before doing your e-file training. But I think the longer you wait, the more it holds you back. And I think you'll be able to propel yourself forward. The only thing I will say is that you need to be able to know how to manually prep. Now, my manual prep is shocking in comparison to my e-file prep. It's never going to look really neat or beautiful. I don't understand how you can't polish your skin unless you're using an e-file. So it's always going to be a little bit raggedy if you're doing it manually. But you do need to know how to do it. But I would say, relatively quickly, get yourself on an e-file course. And that course should be in person and not online.
Quite often, a topic that comes up in the office, just in general, whereas maybe somebody's asking in customer service and stuff like that, is retention when it comes to things like build a gel, hard gel, etc. And one of the questions we always ask is, do they use an e-file? I personally think that if you prep with an e-file, your prep is much better. Therefore, your retention should and could be slightly better. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Or am I off topic?
No, I think it could definitely. Yeah.
So would you go from maybe a gel polish to straight onto an e-file before you start thinking about doing build a gel and other base gels?
The only thing is, I would say for instance, the LP e-file course is part of the course is about infills, and you do have to apply a builder or a structure gel for that. So I probably wouldn't go e-file onto gel polish onto e-file. The other thing is, if you're not qualified in builder gel or a structure gel, like you're going to be missing out on a lot of capabilities of the e-file, which is for like debulking and infills and stuff. So you're only ever going to use it for prep then. I would definitely do your Builder Gel course next.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's just go through. So for instance, the gel polish course that we have here for the in-person, I know when I'm sending manuals to the educators, it has nail anatomy as part of that because it is the kind of foundation of the
so we have
courses. 2
manuals that go out for beginners. It's the nail anatomy and chemistry and the gel polish manual. But they also get an online part of the course as well.
Yeah, so we have a little bit of both where you have the manual, you also have the online part.
Yep.
And then, so you would do from there, go into a builder course.
Yep.
Would you do it in person or online?
Me would do it online, but that's me. It's such an individual thing. Like I can't speak for anybody else.
Yeah. I think a builder one would probably be good in person because it gives you the foundations for any other structured gel.
This is true.
You know?
Yeah.
And then e-file and then on to other more.
Extensions, hard gel, etc. Yeah.
You were filming some extensions content recently.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot how bloody good they are.
Mm-hmm. They're great, aren't they?
The thing is, we don't really do them in-house so much anymore in terms of doing other people's nails because we're trialing other stuff, other base gels, acrylic and stuff recently. And see, just when you see the application and the finish on them,
it's magical to paint. It really is.
Yeah. I think we should just scrap all this builder gel rubbish and just do extensions.
They are very good. So that is all the education done, right? So let's move on. Let's imagine that we are qualified as a nail technician and we are ready to go. What should our next steps be?
I'm going to fold my arms again. Like you said, I would seek employment in a salon.
Well, before I do that, I would practice as much as I can on friends and family.
I think when you're doing your training, I think like as soon as you like qualify from gel polish, you're going to go home and you're going to practice on your mom or your sister. Or
Even if I was going to do employment, by the way, I would set up an Instagram straight away.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Because that's your portfolio and anybody who is a potential employer is going to go and look at that. So every single set that you do, as long as they're all right, get them on that Instagram because that is your portfolio. You know, so if an employer they're going to look at you. They want to see the pictures.
Yeah.
They're going to probably want a trade test as well. So you need to get your practice up. I would say you want to do at the very, very minimum 10 people before you start thinking about charging people.
Right, okay.
Or employment, I would say you definitely need to be doing more than 10 people.
So let's say you do your gel polish, you do your builder. At that point in time, you wouldn't have given up your other job? Or,
no, I wouldn't have given up my other job at that time.
So
no.
you would be doing these maybe at the weekend, evenings and weekends, maybe getting some friends and family.
And the thing is, if you're working somewhere, you've got to have colleagues whose nails you can do as well.
Yeah.
You know?
For the most part,
yeah.
Unless you're a nurse.
It depends. Though there's still administrative staff.
Okay, yeah, that's very true.
You know?
Yeah, and that's the thing. I hate to say it, but when you're first starting out, the best way to gain experience is just to give out free sets.
For sure. I would say 10. After 10, you want to be charging, for sure.
Yeah. And you would maybe want to run like introductory offers or just like special offers for friends and family. Because you're a friend and family, I can do it for just £10, something like that.
Yeah. Make sure you're covering your costs.
Yeah.
But it's all, at that time, it's all about building your portfolio. And if the end game is to be self-employed, you have to understand that sacrifices have to be made. It's not like being employed where you've got all these benefits in terms of you're getting a holiday pay, you're getting a wage per hour or your salary, etc., etc. You've got to make sacrifices. Yeah. And that's just the way it is.
And one of those sacrifices is the capital at the start of it. You've got to be able to kind of fund both your training and probably work essentially like 2 jobs.
Yeah, and don't be resentful about it. Just understand it's a sacrifice that has to be made, and every single other entrepreneur before you has had to do the exact same thing.
Yeah. So let's say you're 3 months in, you've been doing your friends and family, and you think to yourself, you know what, I really want to give up this nursing gig. I hate people coming in all like covered in blood like Chris is.
And you think you've got to a stage where you've got a lot of images for your portfolio. You've been working on your Instagram. That is really important. I think from the very, very beginning is start working on that. Start making a presence. You don't need to worry so much about a brand specifically if you are going to do the employment thing first. But let's say that we are going to do the employment thing, because let's say that we're going to equip ourselves as best as we can as quickly as possible, right?
Yeah. You want to get to S tier level as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Then by the end of 2026.
Exactly. So all of this is going to happen by the end of 2026. By the end of 2026, you're going to be out of the employment.
Wow, geez. You're really like going for a run.
So let's say it's
March.
That's what. End of March, right? We've done all our courses. We've got all our practice. We're charging people a small amount, it's just friends and family. We've built up our portfolio. We've started our Instagram. We think, I want to make the sacrifice for the next 6 months, knowing that after that, I'm going to have all of the skills to propel myself forward years by being self-employed, and I won't have to struggle and work all of these things out myself, because I'm going to watch the experience of the person who owns the salon, who's done it for years and has staff. I'm going to soak all that up. Nice. So I'm going to go and find employment.
Okay. So how would you find a job in a salon?
Indeed. That would be my first place to look for.
Okay. So like a jobs board, online jobs board.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. What type of salon do you want to be looking at?
I was just about to say, can you be picky about like the vibe of the salon? Say, for instance, you've done gel polish, builder gel, hard gel, extensions, and acrylic, and you think to yourself, I hate doing acrylic, I can't really do it. I love doing hard gel, not a big fan of builder gel.
I mean, I would say in the first 3 months, you're not going to have done all of that. I would say that you're going to have done gel polish and builder gel. Okay. Let's just say that we've just started with that. Okay. If you've got extensions under their full cover tips, fantastic, because it's just an added bonus.
Definitely.
But let's say you've just niched down gel polish, builder gel, and that's what you've really got your practice up on.
All right. So would you be looking at the salon's profile, so for instance on Instagram and stuff, to see if the type of nails that they do fits your vibe?
This is a really, really hard question, because it's, what do you want to get out of this? What the ideal of what you want to get out of this is to up your skills. You're going to have, hopefully, a salon which is really busy, and you are just going to be doing nails back to back. The more you do, the better you get. You know what they say, it takes 10,000 hours to become a master at anything. So it's just logical. The more you do, the better you get. You just got to keep doing more and more and more. The other thing is, the more you do, the faster you get.
That's what it is.
Which will prepare you, down, yeah. Exactly, prepares you perfectly for being self-employed. I think if you want to learn about salon management, and that doesn't mean that you want to set up your own salon and employ people further down the line. It just means that you know how to manage yourself in your own space. You probably want to look for a more specific type of salon. I would say a non-standard salon is probably not what you were looking for.
I think with a non-standard salon, you'll get the repetition of doing
you'll
nails
get the
back to back.
You'll get the repetition, but you'll be lacking probably more in the management side and products. What I would say is you might want to align yourself a little bit in terms of looking for a salon to work in with what type of products they're using. Are those the type of products that you want to be using? Are they the products that you are using? But I will say, as a newbie nail tech, you want to make sure that you do try a few different things, because you don't know until you've tried if you like something or not. You might have trained with something and think that that's great, but you've not tried anything else, so you don't know if there's something better out there.
100%. You might have trained with one type of gel polish and think to yourself, oh, this needs 5 coats and that's just regular. And then all of a sudden, like, you try a nail order and the pigment is unreal and you've got to swipe it on and it's 1 coat. You're like, whoa, this is like cutting my time down by like 45 minutes, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe looking at, the thing is, I think as a nail tech, when you first start out, when you start searching for these things will find you. Can
I tell you something I saw the other day, right? And it made me, I was sat in traffic at traffic lights, and it made me think, I was going to the vet, and it made me think back to better times.
Better times?
I saw the butcher on the corner, and I've seen this a few times, and I just started thinking, outside, the butcher himself, who the guy who owns it, scrubbing the exterior.
Oh yeah,
and he does it every single day.
Yeah.
Anytime I'm gone past, and it's about opening or closing time, and he goes through a rigmarole, he goes through a process, and that is something traditional, which I think these days is very lost from people just jumping straight into self-employment and not having done the grunt work and starting off at the bottom. I find if I look at a nail tech or a beauty therapist who, this is me very much generalizing, okay? But on the whole, this tends to be true. Somebody who has never worked in a salon environment, their practices, not necessarily the way they do it, they might be 10 times better than somebody else who has worked in a salon, right? Their practices tend to be better. Like I said, they might be, the person who's never worked in a salon might be better at doing the actual nails. But in terms of like
the basics,
I don't know. There's something about it. It's like what you were talking about with college. And I'm not saying I wouldn't personally go to college, but there is something about working in a salon and understanding, like, taking part in the cleaning, working with other people, taking part in cleaning the bottles, taking part in stock counts, just taking part in the whole process of a salon, which is a skill. And it's the same, I think, in any industry these days, that people just jump over and like, I don't need to do that. I'll just go straight to being self-employed.
But do you know one industry that doesn't do that?
What?
Hair.
You can't jump it.
No, well, with hair, you tend to become a junior.
Yeah, but you can still jump it. Of course you can.
But okay, right. But for the most part, to learn hair, realistically, you become a junior.
Yes.
And as a junior, you do all the grunt work.
Correct. And that actually the hair industry, when you look at it like that, is the perfect analogy for what I'm trying to say.
I get it.
And it's just like that butcher is just traditional things, and it's a process, and it's about being really thorough.
Mm-hmm. The thing is, for
and
a
it's
butcher,
not about being really thorough at doing the actual job, at cutting the meat or cutting the hair. That's not what I'm talking about. It's everything else that goes along with it.
if you think about a butcher shop, my dad used to have a butcher shop, so I understand this. There is blood everywhere, you know, for the most part. If you're a good butcher, you know, because you bring in full carcasses and you're breaking them down. So there's like, you know, blood everywhere. Out back, you have tons of sawdust on the floor because that mops up the blood and stuff. And you're used to doing it like a whole clean down. It's kind of like when you work in a kitchen, you know, and your exterior is almost like that as well. If you think about a butcher shop, it's always pristine, and it's like stainless steel countertops and stuff like that because it's wipeable. And the exterior of your shop should always be like that, your salon or your home salon or whatever. If you think about when we had the two businesses beside each other, Alexa Lounge upstairs and I had the clothing store, think about a Saturday morning. I would always sweep outside both the salon and that, mop it all down because a Saturday is your big business day, you know? But also, it was on like a really busy street. And on the Friday, people would have kebabs and they'd throw them everywhere, do you know what I mean? But
I just think there's I don't know, there's sometimes just a chunk missing these days because everything is fast tracked.
Yeah.
It's not getting that experience. So I think if you want to become a really good nail tech with a really successful independent business, sacrificing those few months is going to teach you things. For sure, it will teach you. Even if it teaches you things what I don't want.
Yeah.
It's
100%.
taught you something.
Yeah. So you don't make that mistake.
Yeah.
And I always think to myself, I always look at other businesses and other people and other business owners and stuff like that. And I always think to myself, what would I do differently?
Yeah.
Or why are they doing something
It's
different?
so much easier to see from the outside than from the inside. From the inside, as soon as you have your own business, and for anybody who's listening who has their own business, you'll completely understand this. Everything becomes really personal.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
And if you can see from the outside, if you've got that perspective of, I worked in a salon for a few months and I could see it from the outside, that is not personal then because it's not yours.
Yeah.
You're going to learn things more.
Yeah.
You know? I think even just the customer service element of it as well. And sometimes I think these days people are just so like, I'm too good for that. I'm not going to clean the toilets. I'm not going to scrub the floor. I'm not going to do this. Yeah. Everybody should be cleaning toilets and scrubbing floors and doing all the grunt work at some point in their life. Or just every day, to be honest.
Yeah.
Setting a good example.
At the end of the day, if one of your customers go to the toilet and it's a mess, trust me, they think of you as a mess. You know, your toilet is a reflection of you.
Yeah.
You know, if that's a mess, you're a mess. So,
we found a salon. I can't tell you what the right salon to work in is, but I will say a non-standard salon is probably not what you are looking for if you are looking for this experience to not only improve your skills, improve your timings, but to learn the management of the salon, to learn everything that you need to know about running a beauty business.
The day-to-day business.
Yeah. You want to find something a little bit more standard, I would say. So I would put in 6 months hard work. I think within 6 months you can learn a great amount of stuff.
I think what you were getting at there by talking about the butcher is the hard work. I mean, he's an old man.
Yeah.
But he's still doing the hard work that he's probably been doing for the last 30 years. Now, if I were you, I would volunteer to go scrub the toilets, to sweep outside. And if a salon manager asked you to do it, just be like, sure, no problem.
Do you know what else I would do? Christmas in a salon.
Oh, yeah.
That teaches you a lot.
In fact, I as much as we're trying to combine this into a full year, if you can do like a Christmas through into January, oh man, because that's two extremes.
I would say if your 6 months can encompass, I would say the ideal 6 months to do would be August, September, October, November, December, January.
Yeah, perfect.
Because you've got the hell of October, which is quiet
the end
and
of
terrible.
summer, which is always quite good. You know, lots of bank holiday. And the thing is, you all of a sudden realise that you can't get bank holidays off anymore because you have to work it.
Exactly. You've got October, which is hard because it's quiet. But then the opening of the books and starting to pre-plan for Christmas.
Yeah.
Then you've got the busyness of Christmas, and then you've got the quietness of January. I think it'll just help you when you're in your own business. Remember, it's okay to have quiet times. Things are up and down.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, when you're on your own, if you've never done it before, it's very isolating. And you're like, even for myself, I've been through it for, I don't know, 15 years we've been self-employed. Yeah. And I'm still like, oh my God, it's quiet. Everything's terrible. People hate us. And then I try and think back to the millions of other times that it's happened.
The funny thing is, Nail Order has this growth engine beneath it. So it's constantly, every single month we've smashed target, and every single month we've been up year on year, month on month.
That's to me, that's the most important thing, is doing more than we did the same month of the year previous.
And then, do you want to tell them what happened in October?
We did it but we did not do target for the first time ever.
Correct. So we did this October last year. The thing is, we should have had launches in October, and that should have propelled us to have target, but we didn't. We did,
yes, and that wasn't on us, so, but whatever.
And the good thing we've got here at Nail Order is a store. So when nail techs come in to purchase things, I always just say, how's things? Is it busy just now? And everyone's like, no,
I think
terrible.
this October seemed to be particularly difficult on people. I did see a lot of people talk about it on forums.
But people are cutting back. People are, the things, you have to understand, for the most part, nails are a luxury, you know?
Yeah.
People will cut back. Oh, they'll go somewhere cheap. I hate to say it, you know? It's like coffees. Nobody wants double-digit lattes anymore. Do you know what I mean? They want to go for the cheapest thing they can get.
Yeah.
You know?
So we've done our 6 months. We have left on great terms. We've got a bunch of flowers and a card from our team. And we are going out on our own.
Realistically, they've shunned you. You've been kicked out of the salon. They've already said how terrible a nail tech you are.
Now, number one, right, when you are leaving, those customers that you have been doing are not your customers. Nope. They are actually nobody. They belong to themselves. Yeah. Some of them might come with you. Some of them might only come with you for a short period of time. They might not like that. That's something that we found when people left, is that maybe like that nail tech, they went with them once, they didn't like the self-employed environment. Maybe it was a hairdresser and they didn't like all the noise, or maybe it was just a studio and they like the salon environment where there's lots of people and there's a receptionist who's chatting to them and it feels a lot more personal to them. They like that. Don't be offended by that. Yeah. It's just people's personal preference, and you can't please everybody. So you need to go out with the assumption that you are starting from fresh with absolutely zero clients. And if you get some, then great. I would say be graceful about it. Don't be all like snide. It depends very much on how your salon owner is, dealing with it. But remember that they've had to build up their business as well, right? So don't be sort of thieving and conniving, and it's not very demure.
We've seen it quite often. What Rebecca alluded to right at the very beginning is, if you start your own Instagram, then you're organically just going to grab attention from people, right?
Absolutely.
When it comes to the salon, 6 weeks before you are planning to leave, don't be telling everybody, oh, by the way, I'm leaving, so you better come with me. This is my Instagram. Just do it gracefully,
Yeah, you can say, oh, yeah, I'm leaving. And if they ask and whatever, and, I would say probably have a good open conversation with the salon owner, but you do need to remember that it's their business that they have put blood, sweat and tears into, and especially as a business that employs people, that is so much harder than just being responsible for yourself. So I would just say be graceful. But so let's say we are now starting out on our own. We have to imagine we are starting out with absolutely nothing and nobody. But the good news is, like Chris said, we started that Instagram, 9 months ago now. We've been putting all of our pictures on our work regularly. So we've built up an organic following. You now probably want to start thinking about branding.
Yeah, for sure.
And a good name, like a good name for your business. But also, where do we want to go and work? Are we wanting to go and work at a studio with other people? Or do we want to be absolutely on your own? I would say to answer that question, you need to look at yourself and think, well, what would I prefer? Do I like being on my own and not being affected by other people and other people's mess and noise? Or do I like to have other people around me and I like that social aspect and being able to bounce off other people?
Would you even ask the salon owner from the salon you're in if they would consider letting you go self-employed within?
That is another option. You can essentially work in a salon self-employed on a cut basis, and you can probably gain as much information, I would say, depending on the way the system works, gain as much experience. So that is something that you could do as well, instead of being actually employed. But I guess it all depends on who is getting the customers, because, if you don't have any experience, then it might be harder for you to get customers.
What route would you go down? If it was you and you were doing this in 2026? Would you do a studio by yourself? Would you start a salon?
If it was me, Rebecca.
Yeah. Well, if it was you, Michael. I don't know. If it was you, Rebecca. The beautiful
You just
girl
reminded
with-
me about Michael.
Oh, God.
My youngest nephew, he has this obsession with FaceTiming me and just looking at my face. I think it's because me and my sister look alike. So he'll just ask, he's not even 2 yet. He'll be 2 next year. But yeah, so he phoned the other day and he was naming people.
Naming people at nursery, was it?
I don't, yeah, and like my sister was like, and who else? And he was like, Michael. So one of his little friends is called Michael.
At nursery, yeah. What was the other one? Keith or something? Something like Danny?
Oh,
John?
no, it was like it was a J name. I can't remember. But anyway, I thought it was hilarious. What would Rebecca do? I can only answer this because of all of the experiences that I've had up until now. I would be on my own.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yes, but do you know why? I cannot stand it. This is a problem we have here in A-Loader as well. When you go to your desk or your setup and something has changed or something is not exactly as it was, and that is a risk you run working with other people around you.
okay, but honey, you owned the salon and you had, at one point, I think it was 11 or 12 members of the members of staff, members of the team. Yeah? Would you never go back to that?
No, not ever.
Why?
It's hell.
Okay, before we jump ahead, right? So you would be riding solo.
Yes.
Would you rent a salon space, studio space, or would you do it from like the backyard?
No, I wouldn't want people coming to my home.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like that as a customer, and I don't like that. I wouldn't like that as like somebody coming to me. That's just my personal preference.
I think a lot of people like it because they have the comfort of being at home, and especially if you've got like younger kids and stuff like that. For me, I just think you always run the risk of the horror stories that we've heard.
Just turning up whenever they feel like it, and
Like today, I mean, I wouldn't cancel on a client based on how sick I'm feeling today, but some people may do that, you know,
and they still turn up.
and they turn up.
Yeah, no, I just wouldn't like, and especially if you've got kids, you can't control their mess. Obviously, it depends if you've got like a completely separate building, but no, it's just not for me. I think just a small studio space. Yeah, potentially big enough for a second desk if I wanted to have somebody come in with me at another point. Potentially, that would probably be quite nice.
Okay, so how much are you for rent these days for renting like a small studio space?
I don't
Again,
know, about probably 450, 500 a month.
Mileage may vary, but like here in Glasgow, we have a place called
Central Chambers.
Central Chambers, where it used to be like a big office block building, and they converted it into basically just like rooms, essentially, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's just all nail techs and brow and lash artists.
And yeah, everyone's kind of got together and thought that's a great use of space.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how much it is for one of them?
I don't, but I was speaking to somebody recently, and I'm sure it was either 450 or 500 a month for this similar sort of thing.
Right. And that's your like bills covered, isn't
Yeah.
it? So water,
Yeah.
electricity, stuff like that. Yeah, okay, so you're 450 you need to earn like off the bat, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So you've got your space there. What are you thinking, right? So how many days are you going to be working? How many hours are you going to be doing? Bear in mind, you're starting right away. You've got to pay out $450 per month.
My personal preference would be to do 4 days.
4 days. Which four?
Wednesday through Saturday, probably.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No Sundays?
No.
Nails on Sunday?
Not anymore.
That's quite catchy. We should maybe do
I
something.
used to always work on Sundays, but not anymore. I would do Wednesday through Saturday. You don't have to do every weekend, but maybe every second. But I would definitely offer it. It is, the service industry is heavily weighted towards the end of the week. It is what it is. You can't change it.
I wish I had that person, right? I did an Instagram post based on a pod we did a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Did you see some of the comments underneath it?
Yeah.
There was a genius person underneath it who does early mornings. So she's an early
I saw that, yeah.
She's an early riser. So she takes clients from 6 a.m. in the morning
It's crazy.
through to, I can't remember what the time was after that, maybe like 2 p.m., you know? And she is like fully booked. Now you think about it, if you're just coming off a night shift, realistically, if you switch things around.
Oh, yeah, no, if you're just coming off a night shift, because I would often get customers just coming off a night shift for brows, and I didn't start till like, say, 9. And they were like, oh, I'll just stay awake. But yeah, if it was like 6, that would be better for them.
I thought that was genius. And again, I love people who adapt to certain circumstances. I said to Rebecca, like, the house we're moving to doesn't have a Tesco right around the corner. So we're going to have to like do that online shopping thing for us to be able to get Tesco.
I think it's really important to keep in mind that when you are setting up self-employed, this is the way I look at it. And I know not everybody looks at it this way, right? But the way I look at it is that you need to make sacrifices, and you need to march to the beat of your customers' drums a little bit.
To begin with.
Begin with, in terms of when they want to see you.
Yeah.
Lull them into a false sense of security. Go, I'll see you on Saturday, and then cut the Saturdays like a year later. But why not? Like, why do you want to be off on a Saturday? Jesus.
Saturdays.
I thought I wanted Saturdays off for over a decade, and then I got them, and I was like, now what? Because everybody else is off, and it's hellish. I can't go to Nando's because there's like 400,000 14-year-olds.
Yeah.
There's just children, people with buggies. I can't go into Primark now because you can't even get in. Yeah. But on a Wednesday afternoon, amazing. Yes, I can.
So only unemployed people.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I need socks, honey. Can you go to Primark for me? Right. The problem is...
Because when are we going to have time?
No, but this happens every year, right? So before... Like, I always get to the end of the year and Rebecca steals my socks. But also...
I don't steal socks anymore. I buy my socks off Temu.
Daki is also eating my socks as well. Like, he steals
He
them
is
off
the
my
main
feet.
problem.
And there's holes in them. And I now need to go to Primark to get some socks. But I'll tell you something right now. Right now it's December, as you're listening. It's November right now, but it's busy.
Today is our last day that we do not need to be in work.
Hello, we're in work.
Until probably the 4th of December.
Not getting paid for this, so if you could possibly like and subscribe, share on your Instagram stories.
Because it's about to be Black Friday. So from tomorrow is Monday, and then it's Black Friday weekend, so we will be in work every day. And it will be hardcore. And when we go home in the evening, we need to be packing up the house.
Okay, so digest.
Anyway, go back. What was the point in this?
Digress.
What was the point in this?
Sacrifice.
Sacrifice.
Nobody wants to be off on a Saturday anyway.
Yeah, so what's it to you?
But
my friends are off on a Saturday. Who cares?
Yeah, I'll tell you something. There's nothing better than being off on a Tuesday afternoon. It's lovely.
Honestly, midweek day off is
just
fantastic.
Imagine to yourself, right? Do you want to go to a beer garden? Imagine it's baking hot outside and you think to yourself, I want to go and get a bottle of wine, you know? Do you want to do it on a Saturday when everyone else is doing the exact same thing?
Here's the thing, see?
Or a Tuesday? You'll
get to experience the Saturday off that everybody else gets every time that it's a Monday bank holiday, because you'll be off on a Monday if you're doing, let's say, Wednesday through Saturday, and then you'll be like, I absolutely hate this. All of these people are infringing on my nice quiet day off.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yes, you kind of have to, it's all about sacrifice. If you want to be self-employed, you want to be successfully self-employed, and you want to gain all the things there are to gain from being self-employed, which is ultimately freedom and hopefully making more money, then to begin with, you must make the sacrifices. Yeah. You just have to, if you don't want to make the sacrifices, you don't want to work from at home when you are finished doing your clients, you want all your holidays paid for 5.6 weeks a year, work for someone else.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. Yeah, you can't have it all.
Okay, honey. So imagine you have done that and you are bending over backwards for clients. You're doing your 20, 30 hours a week or whatever. What's one way to know if you're actually making money?
That's a great question.
Vanilla auto pricing calculator is always a good.
Well, yes.
I should have actually put that in there before.
You do want to do that to begin with. You want to set your prices to begin with using a good pricing calculator. The nail order one on our app is very, very in depth and it's completely free. So please use it. You do want to set that to begin with. And obviously, the main question to begin with is how are you going to get customers? So let's say you've set your prices. You know what you need to be charging, but you also know that sacrifices need to be made. So you know what you need to charge to get the money that you want, right? But sacrifices need to be made. So you are going to have to do deals to begin with. I think a great thing to do is set those prices, because then customers know, well, that's the price. That is going to be the price. But then to begin with, you're do offers.
Happy hour. You can do it. You can actually legally do happy hour. It's
easier to do that than to set your prices low and go up.
Yeah, 100%.
So set the standard prices, but for my opening month or whatever it is, you're doing these deals.
Yeah. I think everything in life is managing expectations, but more so in business, because customers will come to you if that's the kind of price genre that you're at. It's like people go to Primark because they know it's relatively inexpensive compared to somewhere else, and it's about setting expectations. So if they can see what future prices are going to be, they'll think to themselves, well, that aligns with what I'm willing to pay, Right now I'm getting a bargain, I'll happily do that.
Yeah. So offers are a great way to attract customers. Other ways to attract customers, and you do need to put in the grunt work. They're not just going to come to you. You can't just be like, oh, boo-hoo, I'm not busy. Like, you need to put the effort in, because you've got to remember that it is an overly saturated market. Facebook is going to be your best friend, and it sounds so Karen-y, but it is going to be your best friend. If I was starting again in 2026, I would utilize all of my local Facebook groups.
Yeah.
for advertising. I wouldn't do any paid for advertising on Instagram, completely pointless. But I would
I don't
definitely.
know. I would say utilize meta ads, paid ads at certain times. So, for instance, when it's really quiet in October, it's probably quite a good idea.
But do you think that there's any reach for a nail tech putting in £10 a day?
I'll tell you something. There's definitely more reach for a single nail tech putting in £10 a day rather than us putting in £100 a day. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. What I would do, though, is not only the Instagram and your Facebook, I would also set up something like a TikTok.
Yeah.
The thing with TikTok is you are reaching people across the globe, but you also might just hit people local to you, you know? It's weird how you find people local to you, you know? For instance, if I'm looking for tattoo ideas and stuff like that, all of a sudden people who are local show up, you know? It is just a natural thing. And if you're doing paid ads at the same time, you might show up 1 or 2 times, you know? And if you're showing up 2, 3, 4, 5 times, it's that whole thing of like you see something 7 times before you want to buy it.
Yeah.
Type of thing, you know?
I think also don't concentrate too much on trying to grow your socials. At the beginning, you kind of want to be able to get some customers, but followers don't mean bums on seats.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, you got to remember what you're out there for. You're not out there to be an influencer. Well, maybe you are. Maybe that's your ultimate goal, in which case, sure, go for it. But if you are there to be a working nail tech, making money doing nails, growing your following isn't really going to help you particularly.
Yeah.
And just quickly talking about TikTok, remember that your content that you put on TikTok should be completely different for your content that you put on Instagram. Instagram is your portfolio. Facebook is your chit chat, casual.
Yeah, marketing.
Yes,
marketing
and then
chat, yeah.
TikTok, it can be more vloggy, day in the life, bit of fun.
Bit of
Reviews.
fun. Yeah, reviews. That's always a good one. Excellent. All right, so say you have been doing this for 6 months. You're starting to build your client basis. Your books you're starting to fill your books and stuff like that. The advertising that you're doing is working and you're happy. Do you then think to yourself, maybe I should think about expanding?
I would certainly not think about expanding in terms of hiring staff or anything like that. But what I would be thinking about is upskilling. Is there any treatments that I'm not currently qualified in that I want to be? You know, is there any areas that I want to improve in? Maybe my prep. Maybe I want to learn. Have we learned hard gel yet?
Not yet.
No, we've not learned hard gel
We
yet.
should, but
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, you know, maybe you want to learn some new skills. So that's what I would be thinking about. You know what else I would be thinking about? Very, very early on, actually from day dot, retail.
Oh, retail.
You got to have the retail stuff. And again, it's a sacrifice and it feels really difficult at the beginning when you don't have a lot of money as it is. Because you can feel like, oh, I'm just putting money on my shelf there. But it is a great way to bolster your income.
Yeah, and we're not talking about, I don't know, Nivea makeup cream. We're talking about something that is treatment is adjacent, you know?
Yeah, so cuticle oil that you're going to use during the treatment, and clients like, oh my God, I love the smell of that. What is it? Well, here we go. I've got a handy dandy pen that you can buy for £8.
Yeah, that's a great way. So if you think about it, this client is actually paying you £35 for your treatment. The costs of the treatment is costing you £5, for example. If you can then just bolster that up by another £8 by a cuticle oil pen, it's an excellent return on investment.
And what will happen is they'll get really into it, and they'll be like, every time you've got a new flavour out, they'll want to get that.
Yeah.
And then if they really like them, they'll buy presents for their friends at Christmas time, etc., etc.
Yeah. I think right now, when you're talking about upskilling, I know we touched on retail there, but you did touch on upskilling. I think these smaller, more intimate little workshops are a great way to upskill.
Mm-hmm.
You don't necessarily have to go do a full big course that's very structured and everything else. If you go to like an upskilling masterclass or something,
oh yeah,
I think that is a great way.
Everybody's doing them these days, whether it's social media ones, whether it's Russian manicure, nail art ones, etc., etc.
I think they're relatively low barrier to entry. They're not really that expensive.
Depends, but yeah.
Yeah, it depends who you go to. Realistically, if you go to like an in-person one, like the few we've had here recently, you tend to meet other nail techs who are similar to you and from the same area. Mm-hmm. And I do think that's a great way to think about expanding. Let's go back to what Rebecca was saying about the rental cost. She was saying it was like $450 for these little rooms. Imagine you bought or started renting a slightly bigger room, but it was only $650, and you started sharing it with 2 other nail techs. All of a sudden, your costs start to come down. You know, and I think that's a great way to do both upskill your skills and maybe go into business with other people.
How are you upskilling though? By employing other people? Well, not employing other people.
No. So you've been on the masterclass. You've met other local nail techs.
Yeah.
You guys come together like a band of brothers. What is it? Robin Hood and their merry men, something like that. You're fighting crime and doing nails. I don't know.
Excellent.
Yeah. Is that an avenue you would go down?
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure. If I saw that business-wise it was going to make way more sense, and I could trust them not to touch my stuff, if I was like, oh yeah, okay, £600 a month for a room that could fit 3 of us, well, that's £200 a month each, and I'm paying $450 for myself. That's a no-brainer.
Makes sense. And you probably learn that from, like flat sharing and stuff like that.
Actually, what I would do, right? So say it was £600 a month. I would probably charge the other people £300 each, because they're still saving £150. So they're saving 50%, I guess, the extra 50% on renting a room themselves. So they're saving money, £300 each, and they're covering my rent.
There you go.
So it's free for me to be there.
Yeah.
Because you do need to think about that. Even if you take holidays, you still need to pay that rent.
Yeah, 100%.
And you can't be aggy about that, because that's about being self-employed. It is what it is. It's the same way if you go on holiday from your home, you still need to pay your rent and your mortgage. It's not like, sorry, I wasn't there.
Yeah, I know. All right, so you're a year in, you're sharing this room, they're basically paying your rent for you. Would you think about moving into like a bigger property, maybe mortgaging a property?
No. Just pump the brakes. You're happy where you are. Your rent is paid for you.
Oh, wow.
No.
Okay. Excellent.
No. Knowing what I know now, no. Do not overcomplicate things for yourself. If you want an easy life, don't do it.
I think we should wrap it up there, and we'll maybe come back in another pod and talk about a life after qualifications. So you've been a nail tech for a couple of years.
Have we done that before though, no?
Nah, I think we're going to go down a different avenue. What I would like you guys to know, what I would like to know from you guys is questions. So for instance, you guys have been a nail tech for a couple of years, and you have a question that you would like a salon owner, Rebecca over here, of 15 years to answer. I think that would be a great one. Yeah?
Do you know what else I want to know? I want to know if they want us to talk about nail tech stuff or brand stuff.
Yeah.
I bet you they want us to talk about brand stuff more.
Really?
Yeah, but let us know, guys. I really want to know. So let me summarize. If I was becoming a nail tech in 2026, using the information that I know right now, here is how it would go. Get courses. First course would be an in-person course. This is just all completely personal to me, guys. So open to interpretation, but this is just what I would do, knowing what I know now and being who I am, Rebecca. First course, gel polish. Not Michael. First course, gel polish, in-person course. Next course, online builder gel course. Next course, in-person e-file course. Amidst all of that, I am doing my own research. I'm teaching myself. I'm watching videos and looking at so much content of other people. I'm finding little, probably online free masterclasses where I can. I'm also practicing on my friends. I'm 3 months in. After I've done my courses, I'm immediately setting up my Instagram, and I'm putting all the pictures of nails I'm quite proud of. I'm putting it on there. So I'm starting that. I'm using good hashtags. I am 3 months in. I am happy with my portfolio that I have built up, and I am finding employment in a salon. Now, that could be a shared self-employment if that works in terms of like a 40-60 split, in terms of if they've already got the customers and you don't need to find them. If not, I would just go employed. I would do my 6 months ideally over the end of the year period, because you are going to gather all of that information in terms of the quiet times, the busy times, and how things run over that period. You're going to gain so much invaluable information working in a salon in terms of salon management. It's not all about doing the treatments, guys. It's about how to get the customers, how to maintain a good, clean surroundings, just the day-to-day stuff that goes in with running a salon. Next up, I am going self-employed. I'm probably going into a studio on my own, and I am going to be setting my prices, making sure I've done a pricing calculator. I know exactly how much everything's going to cost me, exactly what I want my prices to be, and I am doing offers to gain as many customers as I can. Probably also going to throw in some competitions to gain a little bit more traction, making sure you follow me, like, comment, tag a friend type competitions. I'm going to be on those Facebook groups, advertising my wares, making sure I'm using really, really good pictures. And I'm going to go from there. If you need to run those early bird offers, just opened offers for 3 months, then so be it. If you want to sprinkle in little offers midweek, something we talked about a couple of episodes ago, only got 1 p.m. and 3 p.m. left today, ticking them off, creating demand, you go ahead and do it. But that is my general, that's what I would do. That's what I would do.
I think basically that is what most people should do.
Yeah. I think a lot of people probably skip out the whole being employed working in a salon for 6 months thing. But honestly, I think you will gain so much knowledge from that.
Yeah, I do think so. And I do think, like,
as long as it's the right salon.
Yeah, I think what Rebecca said is go into it to begin with. Just gel polish, builder gel. I think that's a great staple to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
When you maybe get into your own place, I think, like Rebecca was talking about running offers, I think, see if you do a little bit of everything at the same time. You upskill, so you learn something like extensions, full cover tips, and then run offers.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It
New
just
treatment.
keeps it fresh, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then maybe do hard gel, and it keeps it fresh. And maybe what you could say to the people who are maybe getting extensions, actually, I think you'd be great for hard gel. Let's move you over
We
there.
did it all the time. So then we started like Minx Nails, did an offer on them.
Yeah.
Rockstar Toes, did an offer on them. Swarovski Toes, did an offer on them. We introduced Structure Gel, which initially was Bristle Light from CND.
Oh, wow.
Did an offer on that. Yeah, I think you're right. Upskilling all the time, keeping it fresh, keeping it exciting. Very much like what we do here. Always be launching. Always have something on the go, which is keeping your customers interested.
Yep. Able. Always be launching.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So yeah.
Honey, that has been a good pod with you. I feel terrible. My throat is like, scratch yourself. I feel like I want to cough my whole time.
I think we've got something going on.
I just feel like I'm coming down with a case of allergic to dogs. It's weird.
I think you just got the same illness that I had a couple of days
Also,
ago.
we've been in this podcast studio the last couple of days and it's freezing.
It's very cold.
Right, so what's the plan for the rest of the day before we get out of here?
I want to go home and I want to have a part baked roll with a Frankfurter sausage in
Jesus
it.
Christ, right.
I don't know why. I've just really, really want it.
2 days. Wow.
So we have the ingredients and I would really like to do that. Then we need to go across the water. Across the water.
I wouldn't want to leave the house.
To get a chest of drawers and maybe go to an antique centre, potentially, question mark. But if you don't feel good, then we can just go home and do nothing. And eat Frankfurters.
Oh, gosh.
Excellent. We do have lots of videos to edit as well.
Oh, I'd rather just kill myself. I'd rather go to the antique centre. But we'll see how the day goes. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I wish you the best December that you could ever have. If you're
busy.
If you're listening to this and you're on the way to like work and stuff like that, and you're thinking, oh, it's freezing cold outside. Just think of the big dollars.
I'm just saying, right? Christmas period is 2 weeks. Essentially, that's what it is. It's a 2-week period. Just do it, guys, because you will earn so much back if you put in the extra hours. And in January, you'll be rubbing those hands together.
Yeah, think about it. Just think about what happens. Right, Rebecca and I used to do this when we went to salon, right? We would book a holiday for like January 2nd.
Oh, yeah, that's what we always did.
And we would ram it. We'd literally work every single day, the whole of December, and then fly away to like some tropical destination.
Yeah, good times.
Yeah, now we can't.
No.
Excellent. So, thanks very much for joining us this week. Rebecca, my darling, honey, do you want to get us the heck out of here?
As always, guys, be sure to subscribe. Make sure you share this on your socials and tag us for a chance to win a £50 voucher. You probably need to announce the winner of that. And have a lovely day.
Tuning in alone Sunday, all the tea getting spilled. Nail text talking, game keeping it real, y'all gon' feel. From designs to the drama, every secret they reveal. Stay sharp, stay tuned, man, you know it's the deal.